We hold up this vision, living through the
Hugs everyone and welcome to Pass the Mic.
With me and your host Gino.
Hey, this is Alexander. Hey everybody, say hello.
What's the last name?
I don't know, what is your last name?
Well, if I sound it out sound egotistical, you have to say it.
Well, what is it? Because it's not Lamont. Right, so what is it?
Sure as shit, not Lamont.
No, it's not Lamont. What is
I
it?
was told that at a very young age. It's very confusing. It's had a lot of names. Who am I again?
Alexander the Great.
Alexander Savosh.
Savosh. Alexander
Savage.
Savage?
That's the one.
Is it Savage?
Well, that's what they put on my license.
That's a nice last name.
So it's one that you won't forget.
I won't now for
Teachers used to call me
sure.
Mr. Savage.
Mr.
I
Savage.
had that status walking around school.
Listen, what song are we singing?
We're singing Billie Jean by who?
By the one and only
Michael Jackson.
Woo! You told me her name was Billie Jean, and she crossed the scene and told him that. Please, baby. Oh, horrible. So we dance on the floor with the one.
People always told me,
Be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. That's enough. We've killed Michael. We have
We're
killed
sorry.
Michael. But we love you. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. Excuse me.
So,
Let me make sure.
Wait.
It's my pleasure.
as you can tell, he's a smarty pants, but that's what makes him so special. So tell me now. We've
You
known.
tell me.
Well, no, you tell me.
Alright, I thought you was need to know.
Tell me what I need to know.
Only what you need to know.
You recently started doing comedy.
That's false.
You're not doing stand-up comedy.
I am doing stand-up comedy, but you have to be very particular with your words. when
Oh,
you're around
okay.
me.
All right.
You said I recently started.
Yes.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Since I was just a boy. I was a mere child.
6
Times were
months
tough.
ago, 8 years ago.
Times were tough. It seemed like there was no hope in the Savage household. It was savage.
It was savage.
But I used to listen to Pandora comedians, and type in Dave Chappelle, and then they'd shoot me Aries Spears and Charlie Murphy, and hit me with the Richard Pryor, and then
No.
the Daniel Tosh and Robin Williams. And so every night I would listen to that. Is this on? Like, am I
Yeah.
just talking for fun?
No, it's
I'm
on.
just making sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste.
You want me to
I don't wanna
cut?
waste
Just
this.
I gotta cut.
I don't want to waste this information. This value. But I used to go to school the next day and tell the jokes, and I'd sometimes tell my teachers. And one time I remember telling my teachers this joke, Aries Spears. Am I allowed to tell it, or is it going to shut down?
No.
It's a really funny joke where he's like, he's talking about, every black person needs a white friend. Every group of black people needs a white friend. It's just one, doesn't matter. Just one. He's like, but there's something you got to know about your white friends. It's like, be careful. They do not drink like you drink. You're like, if you hear, yeah, it's time to get the fuck out of here. Shit is going down. Their blood is boiling. There's something deep rooted in that. Yeah! Even time to build. It's time to go. He's like, we know what that sound is. God damn it.
And now, who is that? What comedian is
Aries
that?
Spears.
I don't
He was
think I
really,
know.
well, that was the thing. He was a really great comedian, and I think
These are the comedians that you've based your comic
it
practice
has
on.
always evolved.
Huh?
It's always evolved.
Are you writing?
Every night.
Oh,
All 3 of these books.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
filled with it, and then all of this is filled with music.
Because I
Not
see that
good
you're.
music,
well,
but it's music.
but it's your music.
I love music.
Yeah. So you're
can't
playing,
sing
you're
anything.
tinkling the. Hopefully, we'll give you a better. You've got the piano you're working on. You're just this explosion of creativity and joy.
No, it just seems like I have too much free time on my hands.
Get a job, dude.
Yeah,
Get a job.
Like, why didn't you go to school?
And now, look, are you just making the sound? Just I can't cut that out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're sitting here, and if you can see in the back, there are a lot of wonderful little notes on his wall. What is that?
Are you referring to what you called earlier?
Yeah,
what, a
insanity.
She's like, yeah. You know, I was watching a documentary about serial killers, and you know, your room really resembles theirs.
Well, it starts out like this, but this is a difference. This is different.
But we don't know that yet.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Life's so
We're
We're in the
hoping.
beginning stages.
So, what is this?
What this is, Gina,
Yes,
if you
Alex.
so are eager to know.
I am. If
You were
you
the
are making my sound
sorry.
just crazy, I'm going to kill you after this.
And I'm serious, but that's some shit.
Don't worry about YouTube. I'm going to kill him. Wait.
If you don't see me again, God damn it was her. Don't let
This is
it.
the damn reason.
And don't let whoever represented OJ represent her. You should get off on that shit. Like, what?
Hi. If it fits, you must have quit. That's what I'm saying. What is this? What are these notes that you
So-
put on the wall?
So, on top of when I was a child listening to comedians, because eventually you've listened to everything that the Pandora had to offer. So you have to
Oh.
venture on to music or motivational speakers.
Okay.
So I would just listen to completions. When I was, like starting when I was 8 years old, probably.
8
from
years
when I
old?
remember. Well, yeah.
Can you look at some of the camera when you say that?
Because mommy and daddy didn't like to get along.
Well, it happens.
you know.
It happens. So you're looking over here.
Cats don't like dogs.
What? Some cats do like dogs.
Yeah, and those dogs are called pussies.
Oh, easy.
Sorry, excuse me. I apologize.
Yeah.
It wasn't right to speak that way. in front of a
Exactly.
lady.
Thank you.
My love. I apologize.
I would like to believe
So to
that.
answer the question,
Please, today.
you can't hit a target that you don't know.
Uh-oh.
You just can't hit it. And so you got to know what you're shooting at. And so
I don't know if they can hear you or see you.
I wrote all my dreams down, starting with, if you want me to read it out.
Oh,
Would you like that?
I would love that. How far do you need to move to get it?
It's right there.
Oh, okay. So look,
It-
this how I roll. This how I roll.
Oh, that's how we roll.
This how we roll. So
I'm
you're
rolling.
you're gonna
Picture me wrong.
share with us your dreams.
I will share you with my dreams.
Thank you.
When I was
I'm going to kill him.
just a boy, 2 years ago, I wrote down I first wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
But I realized an actor's born. An actor isn't really created.
Yeah.
You are born an actor. It's just what happens to you in your circumstances of life. It makes you able to go to your spot and then put yourself in somebody else's shoes. But as
Oh.
long as you can always go back to your spot, that's what makes a good actor. Good actor. So the first one's acting. I was really intrigued by Tupac Amaru Shakur at the time, and so philosopher, comedian, singer, dancer,
Oh.
songwriter. Not so much that I want to be like a flamboyant dancer or anything. I just want to be like
Kick
I
your
think
heels
it's-
up. You want
I
to
think
kick
it's
your
cool
heels
how,
up.
like Chris Brown, you just hop up on stage and just kick it.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
he's-
yeah.
If you go to a club or any party environment and you can't dance, what are you doing?
Well, the girls don't want to dance with you.
That's not true. I beg to differ. I will show you some text messages.
Oh, really?
No, I'm kidding.
He's
I don't
such
got-
a
I don't
handsome.
got no
I can
text.
understand. He's handsome.
I
You
don't
know,
got
the
no
girls are flowing it. They
Look,
throwing it at him.
Every girl right now is watching this like, I know, I didn't text that motherfucker. Then
So-
my yearly goals,
Yes.
keep it short. Just I wanted to move to California. I wanted to
Okay.
make $20,000 by
Okay.
December 1st.
Okay.
It's
That's a good day, December 1st.
yeah, but it's December 6th right now, and I'm at about $7,000. So
Well, but
I mean,
you-
the year's not
hey,
over.
can I get a loan?
Did I just admit to everybody how much money I had? Hey, look, I've been working since I was 14 and working hard.
Okay.
But that's pretty sad. What is that, like $3 or $3,000 a year?
No, that's more than a lot of people have.
And you
It's
guys,
a blessing.
And you guys wonder why I didn't go to school.
Did
And
you
then I
drop
wrote
out?
this
No.
on the 2nd of this month, my goals.
Okay.
Like, what is success? And one goal is to leave the world better than when I found it.
Oh, I like that. I like
I
that.
don't like littering. I just like, it's kind of like, I feel like when you litter, that just like tells you where your mindset's at, and you're just not fully there. Like, you don't consider the earth a home. You consider your home a home, but you don't consider that your home is on your home.
Oh, that's so poetic, and it's so beautiful. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
I'm all about it too. and then have a healthy family. You know, one
Now,
day.
so you saying you want to start a family, or?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I wrote. I wrote it with the intentions of like, oh, like the beautiful wife
Oh,
and raising
nice.
a beautiful daughter to not be a, you know, and then a man to not be a dog, and then just be a good person. Because you know, it's like we always talk about. I don't know. Everybody's always looking for that good guy,
You're right.
but we're
right.
always looking for him, and then we don't find him, or vice versa, looking for the good girl, and then we don't find him, and so we just have this distorted image of reality where we think that they don't exist. But I'm that one guy who's like, yeah, we do exist.
There you go.
We're out here.
You are out
we're,
here.
We're a dime a dozen, but we're out here.
He's right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
5, 6, 1, 3. And then have a successful career in the entertainment and music industry. Because that's why I don't pursue music heavily with my heart right now.
Okay.
It's because I just feel like I don't particularly know how to articulate it, but I just know that I don't think I'd be. I don't know. I haven't found my essence of music. Like I know what I love and I know what I want, but I don't know if that particular demographic is populated by African American people, and so I don't think in my position right now that I'd be fully accepted, and I think I'd really have to battle, and that's just not the battle I want to battle. But I think when I'm rich, it's not so much that has anything to do with money, but I think when I have a status where I'm kind of like, oh, like this guy's, you know, he's not a piece of shit, you know, like, oh, he's been through it, he's not lying.
Right.
But I feel like at this stage, it just sounds like I'm lying.
Well, I mean, I understand. You
But
want
it's
to
like
pick your
acting.
battles.
There's a reason. I'll get up on stage and that's easy stuff. I'll get up on stage and if I get, which I've never been, but if I get booed, I'll take that because that's like immediate rejection. It's like, okay, that joke didn't go well. I need to go home and fix it.
Right, you do know.
Instead of acting, you know, it's like I'd go to this audition. I remember this one in particular where, like, you know, you get in there with like 5 different quiet people, don't really acknowledge whatever. They don't really acknowledge you truly, your presence. And they're like, oh, do this, and you do it, and you're like, they put me in these big old fucking, excuse me. They put me in these big Ronald McDonald shoes and just like, you know, and then it's like you don't even know, and you're just, it's like, no, thank you. Like I don't like to, like I have integrity. Like I don't want to sell myself in that way, but I'll sell myself with jokes and shit.
Okay. All
and
right.
music one day.
No.
And then yeah, so on and so forth. Goes.
Well, I love that you've really thought this out. You're excited about your life.
Well, yeah, because if you're not, life ain't life. Life ain't a life until you live it.
Well.
but I only know that is because, you know, I learned how to alienate people at a very young age. And when you do that, you only have time to reflect. And so I just spent so many days in bed while the sun was out. And, like, that's not how to live.
No, that's not how to live. That's
And, like,
called
it's-
depression.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
a heavy set. And you, like,
Yeah.
and it's really crazy because my room, like, I'd put the covers up on, like, I'd put the blanket up on the window.
Oh.
And then it just turns into a black room. So it was crazy. Like when I'd invite somebody over or something, they'd walk in, and you know they'd say, they'd be like, "Oh, like it's walking into another planet in here." It's like it goes from like
It's
this,
so dark.
this hot, bright room from the front door into like black, just dark.
So what pulled you out of that?
I guess everything that put me into it. You know,
Yeah.
you fall in love. And that wasn't so much it. It was just like I grew up with acne, and so like, but bad acne. You know?
Okay.
Like I used to call it fire acne. Like even before I had it, which was fucked up, which was why I think I got it. Before I had
Probably so.
it, I used to call it fire acne because it would engulf your entire face. Like your whole face would be red.
Ah.
So I used to call it fire acne because it engulfed.
Okay.
And then little did I know the next year I was gonna have that shit. I had it for like about 2 years, and then it's kind of like you wake up every day with a mask on your face that you can't take off. It's like crazy. Like so you realize that it doesn't really matter how you look on the outside. If you're not, if your character doesn't, like, you could be beautiful on the outside, but if your character doesn't match the exterior, then it just doesn't. It's not a good match. Like you can't be. You got to be well rounded. You got to be.
So did that teach you compassion? Because whoever you were calling,
Oh, for sure. That teach me to look people in the eyes. And that's when I would like it's hard when you're having a conversation with somebody and we're looking each other in the eyes, and then you
Right.
see that, and you see their eyes glance through your cheeks, and then you're just like, oh, are you talking to me, or are you just thinking about that my face fucked up? And so it teaches you to respect other people with those acne. But sometimes you like just forget,
Well, I mean, sometimes.
Like I look back at it now, and I look at myself in the mirror, and I'll get like one pimple, and I'll be like,
do you freak out?
I'll be like, not so much I'll freak out, but I'm like, how the fuck did I ever? Sorry.
It's okay.
How did I ever walk out of the house with that stuff on my face? Like, how did I do it? But I did it.
Well,
you
because
gotta
life, yeah.
Well, there was a lot of times where I'd get to school in the morning, and I wouldn't get to class first. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom before I go to class, and I'd look in the mirror and be like, I can't do it. Like, today's not the day. Like, I gotta go home, and then I'll try tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, there were a lot of those days. There were a lot of those days where I was like, I cannot show my face to the world right now.
So now, but there were other kids at school that had acne.
I probably had it the worst, but the thing about me was that I wasn't like well known or anything. Well, that's the thing. Like, my last name's Savage, and I was up to some wild shit when I was a kid.
Okay.
And
All
so, and I kind of did come. When I went to middle school, I went to like a new
Oh.
world,
Yeah.
full of people
Yeah.
that I had never met.
Right,
But
right.
that's all-
So
that's
no
cool, though.
reputation.
That's cool though.
No nothing. You
Yeah,
you
so
just,
sixth grade,
yeah.
I was I got acne in fifth grade, and it was just bad onto there. Sixth grade, it was I was a little shrimp, and then sophomore year, you start to. Like the first time I ever skipped school, I remember this kid just came up to me right before civics, which is one of my favorite classes, Mr. Garson, and he was like, "Oh, yo, you want to skip with me? Like, I'm about to go get a tattoo. I'm like, I just want somebody to come with me." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." And like I just remember we hopped the fence. It was sketchy. We're hiding. We're not hiding, but sort of. We're like under this bridge because we're waiting. He's like, it's crazy. I'm like, yo, so are we gonna get the bus to go to like Forest Hill and take a tattoo? And he's like, oh man, it's not till 2:30. I'm like, well, it's 1. Are we gonna sit under this? Like, we couldn't have waited after civics. And then that just kind of like, I just remember so many days where I should have been in school, but I was walking down train tracks. But it made me who I am.
So what did you learn not being in school?
I don't think you particularly learn anything. I just think.
Well, you had to learn
you walk
something.
A lot, you walk a lot. You talk a lot.
What do you talk about?
Well, I remember like there was this guy, like, I can't really blast his name, but
Yeah, don't we don't want to
Yeah.
put his name out on
but
Front
he
Street.
was like a good dude, but he was on house arrest for
Ah.
like attempted robbery.
Oh,
I think he actually may have shot somebody, but it was a long time ago. I can't remember. But I just remember
That's some
that
interesting
they,
company.
They went to like, him and his brother and his friend just went to rob this like guy, just like oh, Chico, like it's Friday, paycheck day, like I
Right.
probably gotta check with him or something, and then I think Chris dude was holding a gun, and I think it went off, and then
Wow.
he threw it in the lake, but they found it, and then they caught him, and he was a kid though, so they gave
Yeah.
him like house arrest,
yeah.
and yeah, it just wasn't supposed to be that way, and you could really sense it the way he told you.
Yeah, he
So,
didn't want to
like-
be that.
Yeah, but he's also walking home with a with an ankle bracelet on his leg,
Right.
and he just he's down. You can tell that.
So now, sometimes it's portrayed like other kids think that's cool. Did you think it was cool?
That's a great question, because eventually this guy actually tried to fight me for talking to his girlfriend. Which
No.
I wasn't even talking to her. But it came off that way.
Yeah.
But
Was she trying to talk to you?
it wasn't even like that. I just stuck my nose. Like, I learned something in 7th grade. If a girl's cheating on her boyfriend,
Yeah,
or if a boyfriend's cheating on the girl,
yeah,
stay out of it.
yeah.
Don't be the good guy.
Exactly.
Unless she's like a sister. Like, just like,
Yeah.
don't.
Because
don't
then
be the good guy.
you become the one.
But I turned into it because he was a big ass. He was a big kid.
Whoa.
He was 2 years older than me. He was just a big kid, man.
Yeah.
He just went to jail and shit. He had a reputation. And he just I was walking outside of the school, ready to walk home. And he just bombarded me. Like, I didn't even notice because I'm just in a group of huddle of peers, and fucking Odell Beckham comes around, and just pushes me, and what the fuck are you talking to my girl? And I'm still trying to process, is this a joke? I thought we were hanging out yesterday, and like walking back, and I'm like, well, if this goes down, I need to get close to this police officer that's directing traffic. I'm like, if he punches me,
I need some help.
like if he punches me, I at least want to be close to this police officer so it ends quickly. I'm like, if it starts right here, I'm like, I'm fucked. But I remember the worst part about it is I got my white Jordans dirty.
Oh my
No, that was
goodness.
what I hated the
Oh.
Because he pushed me in the grass.
And you couldn't clean them, or the grass stain never got off?
Well, it wasn't about that. It was
Yeah.
about that they got dirty in the first place.
Do you have a love of tennis shoes like that?
I did when I was a kid, but I realized that spending money on things that you walk on is pretty redundant.
Wow.
Although, but it's like
I mean, it's nice,
It's fun
but-
though, like like having nice things, but
Yeah.
you don't. Do I want to have a closet full of like nice designer shoes one day?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Do I think that's really what's important in life? No. And so I realized that I need to stop wasting my money on shit.
No. Well, that's how you get money saved.
Yeah.
When especially when you have a goal, you're on
I
a
have
mission.
expensive taste, so I
Yeah.
just realized that I couldn't keep up this habit. It just wasn't working out.
Face of Fire.
Fury.
The Fury, the Face of Fury.
Something like that.
And, you go through the process. There's other kids that had
For sure.
really bad acne.
Yeah.
But for you, it affected you going to school.
Yeah.
Don't be hitting that because you see
Yeah,
what- So when you got your acne under control, we've got a lot of action going on.
live
Are they
next-
coming to get you?
I live next to a fire station. That's a daily
All right,
thing.
for our firemen and women.
Yeah,
Yay.
honestly, to
yeah.
be honest,
yeah,
yeah.
because we need you. Thank you. So when you get your skin together, how does that relate in school? Do your grades increase or
Well, I never did. That was the
Really?
thing. I guess I learned it now. When you expect the future, you're
Yeah.
always gonna be depressed. But it was always something about like there'd be like a pimple there, or like before it was like fire acne. There'd be like pimple there, pimple there, pimple there, and I figured, all right, in a week, you'll pop it. In a week from now, it'll be gone, and then have a clear face. Well, if it wasn't there, there's now here, and then there, and there, and there, and there, and there.
But even one would throw you off, even one pimple?
No, because I never just got one.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't like
It
that.
was a cluster. You would get a cluster.
It was fucked.
And sometimes that happens. So what can you say to a young person out there that they're experiencing that right now that can help them? Because, I guess, well, let me ask you, if looking back on it, not going to school, was that the answer? Do you think that was the answer?
No, because I think going through opposition always makes people stronger when they get on the other side of it.
Exactly.
I think if I would have kind of closed my eyes and took a deep breath, because looking at yourself in the mirrors, it's like that's what you do. Like,
Right.
You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I'm this guy, and then you like reassure yourself, and then it's just like this big old wormhole. So I would just say like, just don't look in the mirror, and just know that.
So
just-
look right over there and tell them.
I would say that you need to be judged off the merits of your character,
And-
and one day it'll get better. That's just the way it is. It doesn't stay forever,
Exactly. And your character,
but it feels like it.
I'm sure we're in the midst of it,
Oh, for
but
sure.
it
It's
has
never gonna end.
helped your character. I mean, you're very philosophical. Your wisdom about life. I mean, I
I
remember.
do.
I remember you playing video games non-stop.
And that's the funny thing, though. I've actually been talking to people about that. Not really so much people, but just like small conversations where it's just. I remember when I was a kid, like I had the Xbox 360 on top of the PS3. But the the PS2 had to go on the Xbox because the PS3 had the curved thing, so I couldn't put anything on top of it. And I just had the games stacked up, a few games and stuff. Just because that was the thing.
Right.
Invite the friends over.
Yeah.
Still a really small apartment. Like, Dad didn't even have a bed. But, yeah. What was he talking about? Oh, yeah, video games. It's just like my dad was like, oh, like one point he's like, oh, if it takes 500 hours to study to be a doctor, he's like, Alex, you could have become a doctor twice. And obviously I don't want to become flipping doctor, but he begs a good point.
Yeah, the
All
amount of time.
It's like you get to level 100 on the video game, but you turn it off, and where are you in real life? you're not any better.
Right.
It's like now I think Fortnite's really, like if you see me, I sold my PlayStation years ago, and I just realized that that's not what needs to be in a man's room. But but you know, like my friends play video games, and then they're like, you know, like 30, and they have, you know, they have a practice, like a doctor's practice, but you know, they go home and they play Fortnite.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but it's a really big I wouldn't say epidemic, but it's a big like thing in college. I just think it's like such a big waste of time. But I guess it helps people not stress out.
It is a way of relieving stress,
But
and
there's people that take it to the extreme.
anybody can take anything to extreme. You know what I'm saying?
I just
but-
think they're a waste of time.
Okay.
But
so-
they're also fun. Like there's one video game like Red Dead Redemption 2. Like I want to play that because I
Nah.
played the one as a kid.
oh, so now this is the two.
Yeah, 2 came out.
Yeah. So you're ready
So
for
I
it.
want to. But I told I had to make that tough decision. I was like, well, it's December and you know, January. Red Dead Redemption comes out in February. Like, do you need the money, or do you want to wait and then actually spend another $60 in the game? And it's like, yeah, just cut your losses, sell the thing. So that's
You
I
just
did.
what?
So I just cut the losses and sold it on Let Go.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did on Let Go.
Yeah, I sell everything on Let Go.
Oh, so you're very techie savvy.
No, it's. What's the commercial? It says click and sell.
So it really works that way. I haven't done Let Go.
No, you on it. It's like a simpler Craigslist, to be honest. It's just
Really?
you take a picture of it, you put the price, non-negotiable, negotiable, and then you kind of, you know, if you're a smart person, you know, some people don't put a description and they put like bad pictures. You
Yeah.
just put a good picture and a good description, and you'll get somebody like within the week.
Wow.
Without that.
Wow.
Am I
Wow.
gonna be sponsored? Sponsored by Let Go.
Oh, I would love to get a sponsor by Let Go. Hey now.
That's pretty good, right?
That's very good. We want you, Let Go.
Come on, Let Go. We are awesome.
We got you.
We will wear your shirts. I will wear your shirt on stage.
Look at that. Look at that. So now, moving into this space with comedy,
Yeah. It's a great space to move into.
how was it your first time getting on stage telling your jokes?
This is actually really something I've always wanted to document as a story. Because, you know, obviously, like, when I was 16 and Dave Chappelle came out with his, when he came back, it ignited something inside of me. Like,
Ah.
watching him, like, I'm going to tell you 3 stories about O.J. Simpson and then dedicate 1 hour of that while all tying them together and telling one joke about a superhero and then tying it to Bill Cosby all the way in the end. It was just like, I was like, this guy's a damn genius. And then he put out the second one, and then you're like, wow, this guy's like, oh, look what he's been through. And then I started to study him, and I started to look at all his interviews, look at his younger stuff, and just see how he talked and see how he perceived Hollywood. And I really admired him for leaving. I thought that was a beautiful thing.
That was
Just to, like,
hell
'cause
of a thing.
that's what I want to do. I really want to go to LA, and not so much LA. I just really want to, you know, live my dreams out in LA, but I do not want to raise children there whatsoever. Never. I would never raise my children there. I'd always want to go to like Idaho or Ohio where he went and just like
Where all
get
the
a
rednecks
farm.
are?
It's not so much. It's funny though. He's like, I live amongst the Teachy Torque whites. He's telling his kids, he's like, we don't want to perform the drills. He's like, what do you do? What do you do with Tiki Torch whites? No, stand her eyes and squint her eyes and stand next to mom. Like, good, you know, 'cause she's Filipino,
Yeah.
so they won't go out. And it's just like so I that was 16, but I couldn't get up on. I was struggled to get up on stage. I struggled with confidence in my writing. I went on YouTube and I did my fair share of research, and then that's when I made this book, you know, like the guidelines to the perfect joke, and it just like likability and formula, and like sense of humor, and like confidence plus humility equals likability. And a great example of that is Muhammad Ali. And so it's just like I wrote that, but you know that wasn't enough, you know, 2 years ago to get me up on stage.
Right.
And the funny, crazy thing about it is like it's all this stuff, and then the end of the video was just like, you can write all day long, but it doesn't matter until you
Get on stage. Like
so it took me
it.
2 years to like battle the confidence acne addiction or addiction and all that stuff, and then just always telling myself, oh, when I stop smoking, that's when I'll be right enough. And then, you know, that's kind of like what I learned is like dreams without goals just fuel depression. And so if you're sitting
Dreams. Wait a minute. Dreams without
in,
goals
that's Denzel Washington right
just
there.
fuel
Man, the myth,
depression.
the legend. Yeah, that they do, because
Yeah.
you're sitting in bed thinking about what is to come, but you're not doing any action.
Exactly.
as
Exactly.
to make it come
That's
to
well
fruition.
said. That's well said. Denzel, that's great.
Denzel, good job.
Yeah, good job there, man, young man.
You know,
You're going
weren't-
places.
You were kind of, yeah. You know, I was worried about you for a little bit, but that one
You're
really
doing
put
all
you
right.
back on track.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
So,
son's doing a good job.
yeah, he is. He's a good actor too.
Good job.
Yeah. So it took you 2 years to get on stage.
It took
And
me
what-
2 years to like
what-
not even just so much get on the stage, and then I started to go to Miami. I used to drive down to Miami in my little beater that I thought was gonna fall apart on the way there every time while I'm just driving down the highway.
If I can make it there.
Yeah, if I could just make it there, I'll find a way to get back. But if I could just make it there, then I'm alright. And I would almost never make it there. I'd always make it there on like the brink of time. I was just good. Like I was just close enough to get my coffee and then go.
Yeah.
And smoke a cigarette maybe.
Yeah.
But you know, I had to get the coffee to kill the cigarette breath. 'Cause, you know, that's not a good.
No,
that's
it's not a good
not
breath.
look.
Not a good breath.
Not a good
No.
look. Nobody likes that.
No.
And so you know that was like my first time really up on stage, where it was just like this kind of like small Miami studio, filled with just people paying for it. You know, it's
Right,
something crazy. It was a good teacher, and you know that was my first time. And you know, it was like.
Did you
'Cause
get the
the
bug?
first time I went there, is like he was like, "Oh, you can come for free. You know, try out, see what the first class is like." And so you know, I'm sitting in the back. I don't know. I was on this like weird thing in high school where I felt like if I didn't want arthritis, so I'd always sit up straight like in class.
Oh, that's
But
very
I'd at
good.
least try.
Well,
Because
yeah.
I figured like the girls, like if the girls are gonna look at some guy who looks like that, which is what I usually look like, opposed to this,
Yeah.
like, it's like, damn, that guy is going places. Look how straight his back is. And so I just like figured that was like a sign of respect. And so I remember just sitting in the back of that acting class for like 3 hours, like never breaking the hunch, and just right there. And I noticed how he noticed it, and just like that's how I earned a little bit of respect to. You know, and then he's just like, "Oh, get up on stage." I'm just like, "Me no habla español." And then it's like, "Come on, kid." You get up on there, and life's all moving so fast. The lights are bright, and
Yes.
and it's happening in the moment. And then you get up on stage, and it's like, "Can I go back, please? Some more? May I have some more?" And then it's like that. And then so there was that, and then when that I went there for about a month, and then I got my reel, and my reel was shoot, and then then I did this improv. Not like I quit, like I didn't quit, but something like just, I guess. It was like $300 a month
Oh,
to go,
okay,
and
okay.
so like I did 1 month, and then I was just like, yo, like if I do this for the remainder of being in Florida, like I'm gonna go through my funds for sure.
Right.
I was like, I don't know if I can particularly afford this. And so I figured, like, let me wait 2 months and I'm going to go back. And then in the time that took, I found an improv class that I put $250 towards, and, you know, still money that I did not want to spend. Like,
Well, but you're spending
you
it
get-
for your
yeah,
craft.
for sure,
You,
for sure.
You've got to help yourself because there's a
But
lot of
when you're-
things that you don't know.
but sometimes, like, I got caught up in the act of just being in California rather than
Right.
the image you need to have in California.
Well, but also, I mean, if you go to California without any experience,
Yeah.
you know, that puts you behind the 8 ball.
Well, it just makes you look like a fool. Like, oh, you traveled all this way for what?
You've never been on stage.
Like, did you know that your dreams are paved with, like Hollywood is paved with the tears of the dreams for people like you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard
So
of
it's good that you're planning and you're being smart and you're
get this.
you're ready, because you can get
Oh,
work
I'm ready.
here that will
Oh, no,
catapult you
I've-
anywhere throughout the world.
I've what's the word? I've exceeded all my options in West Palm Beach. I've drained
Okay.
I've drained the pond.
You've drained the
So
lizard.
It's time to, I was thinking about a lizard. I just had to drain the pond. I may have sucked up a lizard on the way.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And that's where the term "frog in the throat" came from.
Is that where it came from? I'll have to check that. Well, I mean, there's Miami, and I
Jimmy,
know
can you fact check that? Oh, he's on it.
he's on it. Thank you, Jimmy.
Appreciate that, Jimmy.
My crew is working. So,
But get this, let me finish the story.
okay, please.
So look, this is just for me. This isn't for you at this point. I just want to see this back when I'm older. But I just remember not wanting to go to improv a lot. Like every time it would come, I was just like I would have smoked the day before, which was a real confidence. If there's one thing I shouldn't have done, it should have been quitting smoking like 2 years prior to this
I didn't
day.
know you smoked cigarettes.
Oh no, I'm talking about weed.
Oh, okay.
It just like, some people it was good for, and some people it made me too in my head.
Oh.
Like I would retreat. I would like, that's how
So
I would explain it to people.
It didn't make you funny and outgoing.
It made me very quiet.
Yeah,
I'm a very quiet person. And quiet people aren't fun.
No, they're not. Not on stage. I mean,
Not really
you know.
anywhere. It's that I've learned. But regardless, those 7 classes go by, and then the time comes to get up on stage, and it's like a for those of you who don't know improv, there's many forms of it, but this particular form was where everybody sits in the back of the class, and everybody sits in the back of the room. It's a live show at this point. Everybody sits in the back of the room, and the lights are on a specific spot in front of everybody, and you just kind of like, you walk up there and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful mountaintop view. And somebody else will come like, oh, do you see that Scandinavian woman washing her bush? Just kidding. And then
Thank God this is YouTube.
thank God. And then oh yeah, and I didn't get up on stage. I just sat in the back.
You didn't get up? You didn't?
No, I 15 minutes went by. They said we had 20 minutes, and 15 minutes went by, and I just didn't have. That's the thing. I got caught up in my head. What it was okay. So the theme was Halloween. Like that was
Okay.
where that if we went up, that was what we had to like base our observation upon. And so I wanted to go I wanted to bring one person up on stage, and be like, hey, I don't know if I should go to the party like this. They'd be like, why? What's the problem? Like, I don't think I should go to the Halloween party. It's Barack Obama. And I really wanted to do that, but I just like, ooh. It's good.
Let's get. I don't know where the camera is. I hope it's still right here. Yeah. Should we go here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta keep that.
Oh.
And so I just didn't get up on stage, and they were like not mad at me, but they were like, oh, you.
Well, they
Why
disappointed.
they were just
Yeah.
like, oh, why didn't you go? Like, you should have gone. And they were like, people, as the show's going on, like, other people, they're like, go. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to go. Like, for
Yeah.
sure, I'm going. Oh, after this one. It's like, go. And yeah, and that's, no. And then I remember just, like, coming home that night, and just, it's crazy. I climbed through that window because my dad was asleep, and the freaking key wasn't there. And so I had to climb through that window. Somehow, miraculously, I didn't fall through the roof. And yeah, I just got out. I just remember being depressed. I just remember just, like, being like, this isn't the Alexander Savage I want to be. And it's just, that's how you grow. It's just
It
like,
is.
you have to fail.
You know.
And I knew that. Like Seinfeld says it. Like, he's like, oh, I've been on stage and I haven't made anybody laugh. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, just go for it. And
You do
so I
have to
learned.
get tough skin and get over it,
Yeah.
because that's part of the growth and part of the expansion of being an entertainer. You put yourself out there. You get naked every time.
Yeah.
You know. So I hear that you're going to Israel.
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 Israel. And what is this trip? What are you going there for?
Well, if it's anything like 1945, I might not make it back. This might be just a trick to get all Jews in one
Hey, yeah,
place
it could be. It could be.
Hey guys, just right that way.
Boom.
Just shower. And I'm Jew. I can say that. I can say that.
Yeah. Okay. I may cut it, but okay.
I can say that.
All right.
Whatever.
So, why are you?
Much.
Is this your first time going to Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's
it's
my
like
first time being overseas.
oh, that'll
out of the
be
country, for that
awesome.
matter.
Awesome. And when are you leaving? In about an hour? Really?
Yeah, about 4 days.
Oh, how cool! Are you excited?
Well, yeah, I wake up like that, so I'm doing all right.
We're all over the place. I don't know.
I don't know either.
So, in closing, let me ask you this. What would you share with anyone about keeping their dreams alive? and doing the work in between, because it's not just getting on stage, which I think you're really clear about that. It's more to it than just getting on stage.
Well, it's everything you do. It's like, put it like this. Would you pick your nose in front of a crowd?
No. Gino, don't do that.
But would you say that when you're home alone in bed and you get a booger, you wouldn't go like
It's
that?
possible.
It's possible.
And I tell myself, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, if you can't do it in front of somebody, then you probably shouldn't be doing it alone, regardless. So by that matter, it's just, be true to who you are. Like stick to the character of somebody who's great, and not the character of somebody who's mediocre.
I love that. Stick to the character of someone who's great. I love that. So shall we sing our song out?
Yeah, we can remember the words.
Billie Jean. Michael, we're going to try and do a little better this time.
Damn, Michael did not die for this.
Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl. Who would dance on the floor
in the night.
People always
Tell
say,
me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts.
but Mama always told me, be careful what you love. Be careful what you're doing. Billie Jean. Thank you so much for joining me today on Pass the Mic.
Passed it.
We are one. We hold a vision. We are creating our here and now. Just you.
Passing the mic.
You pass the mic. And me. Just you and me. And we're going to keep our eye out
And then me and her.
on all the wonderful things that he's doing, because he's a very talented young man and he has a heart that's full of gold.
It's full of something.
I'll see you next week on Pass the Mic.
The mic.
Cut! Done! Let's see.
No, wait. Let me get this. Hold the mic up.
Oh.
And we are here on Pass the Mic in front of 2 cameras. Very professional setup. Do you have anything to say to the people, Gina?
Hey, we are one. We hold a vision. I'm passing the mic to you.
What do you gotta say?
That's cool.